Alex Freeman here, and today is a special video. This is the first edition of the Ego Book Club, where we work on self-development. I very briefly go through books I read on self-development, meaning being successful in the world of form as opposed to the world of heart, when everybody already is successful. And today I want to briefly touch upon this book right here called The Go-Giver. It's written by Bob Burg and John David Mann. It's a book written in the style of fiction. It reads like a story about this guy whose name is Joe, and he's a salesman, works in the office, and he has to close the third quarter, which in sales terms means basically he has to meet a certain amount of sales at a certain deadline, and if he doesn't, it's just poor performance for him. So as he tries to do that, one of his co-workers gives him an advice to visit this very rich, very influential person, to give him a call first, and ask if that guy could give him any leads which could help Joe to close the third quarter. So he calls that guy, and the guy actually, in spite of being extremely successful and influential, immediately invites Joe over to his house. And after those two meet, he tells Joe that over the course of the next week, he's gonna tell him 5 secrets to success, 1 secret a day, which will be revealed to him through a meeting of a certain person, someone that influential guy knows. But there was only one condition. Joe must, every day after he learns the secret, somehow find a way to apply it in his life. And if he can't, he must call the guy and cancel the entire program, 1-week program. So Joe agrees to that, and the book begins, and each chapter refers to one of the laws, which are called here the 5 laws of stratospheric success. And as any great wisdom, they are pretty, I'd say, all successful people know about this stuff, but it's just beautifully worded. And I won't get into details. It's a great book. I recommend you reading it. I actually have to return this copy today, but I will give one so I have it, my own. And a side note, always read paper books. Always get physical copies. Actually pay for them if you can, and keep them. And whenever you feel like it's time, just pass it to somebody. I won't tell you why. Just try it, because there's a certain energy being in the physical books. It's not just about reading. It's not about consuming the characters with your eyes. So the law number 1, the law of stratospheric success, is the law of value, which reads as: your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than you take in payment. Meaning, every time you receive something in payment, whether it be a monetary compensation or any other kind of reward, you must always deliver more than what you were paid for. And that's an essential thing to remember here. Because if you do, what's going to happen is that people will see you as having a lot of value, and you yourself will see yourself as bringing more value to the world. The second rule goes called the law of compensation, which reads as: your income is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. So in order for you to increase your income, you don't necessarily have to increase how many hours you put in or increase how much effort you put in your work. All you have to do is to increase the amount of people that you influence with your work. the amount of value you bring to one person, which is stated in the previous law, the law of value, just multiplied to many people. So if you have the capacity to reach 10 people, that's one sort of income. But then if you reach 100 people, 1,000 people, your income multiplies. But always keep the rule number one in mind, where you have to over-deliver every single time. Every time some kind of transaction, some kind of interaction happens between you and another individual, always bring more value than you receive in payment. That's the habit to acquire. Rule number 3 is the law of influence, meaning your influence is determined by how abundantly you place other people's interests first. Meaning that in every kind of situation, whether it be a business situation or life that is not business situation, always put the interests of another person by default first. Now, does it mean you have to disregard your own needs? Absolutely not. It changes from situation to situation. Sometimes you have to put your own interest first, but by default, just have it so in your mind, rewire your mind so that by default, always think about the other person first. And that will bring you stratospheric success. Rule number 4, the law of authenticity, that reads as: the most valuable gift you have to offer is yourself. And in this rule, it simply means be yourself. Don't pretend to be anybody else. And when you are yourself to the very, very max, to your limits, when you are super you, that's just you all the way, you actually end up, people see that. People see you as being trustworthy and somebody who delivers honestly, genuinely. That's the law of authenticity. Offer yourself as a gift to other people. And that's the biggest thing you can do. And the last law, number 5, is the law of receptivity. And it reads: the key to effective giving is to stay open to receiving. Meaning that all the laws before, all the 4 laws that precede this one are talking about giving. The book is called The Go Giver, which is a wordplay on the common expression, the go-getter, meaning somebody who goes at it and gets it, somebody who receives. And it almost feels like, through the course of this book, that it's all about giving and never getting anything back or having your reward very small. And its 5th law actually put things into place, and you have to always be open to receptivity, to receive whatever is given to you. Because if you're not, you're obviously not gonna get anything. And when you receive something, that's you give an opportunity to give to the person that gives something to you, which increases the value of that person, and in this manner benefits both participants of the transaction. So there are 5 meetings, 5 days in this book, and as the protagonist goes through each one of them, he discovers a couple of twists over there, revealing some characters. I'm not gonna go into it. Read the book, The Go Giver. And I'll leave you at that. I'll see you in the next edition of the book club. What was it called? The Ego Book Club. We're developing our egos out here. Love, peace, and I have to get back.